The question du jour, the topic on everyone's lips, is about reopening on October 22nd. We have a very high vaccination rate among our adult population. And in spite of the high level of vaccination, we still have a very high number, and it seems a climbing number of infections. What's going on?
We do, yeah. The trend is not great, they say. But now again, we're waiting for this final analysis in this phase of it next week. I think the Cabinet's going to look at all the numbers, aren't they? Now, we haven't seen some of those numbers, but it does look as if cases are climbing, and then hospitalisation rates are still okay, remember. It isn't overwhelming, the hospital system. But again, there must be concerns here, Pat, because they must see trends and so on. And you're quite right, the question is, why is this happening? We're number 7 in Europe now in terms of number of cases. That isn't a great place to be, by the way. You see, we've got a lot more cases than, say, Denmark or other countries.
Are we number 1 in vaccinations?
We're very high in vaccinations.
Very high,
exactly.
there, yeah.
But remember, there's still 300,000 people unvaccinated in the over 12s. So that we need people to keep going with the vaccination campaign is one message we're hearing. And then, of course, we've got the booster campaign is now underway, and that's very important because there is evidence of some waning, and maybe we're seeing a bit more waning here and there. The truth is that we don't know why these cases are climbing all the time. That's still an unknown. Yeah. Virus doesn't change, and it spreads from person to person. Let down your guard. You could pick up the virus is the bottom line. Close contact. A big one, Pat, actually, is people not staying home when they've symptoms. That's the number 1 directive still. If you have symptoms, don't go into work, don't go to school or whatever, and then it won't spread as much. And there seems to be less people doing that as well, you see. So the behavioural element is really critical for this. That's a very important question as well. We do need to open up at some point, remember. It's very important, but I don't envy the Cabinet decision next week. If the numbers are really bad, what are they going to do? But now we don't want to maintain restrictions if we don't have to, you know. So it's a tricky question.